What's going on, people? Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. Back at it again, back to business. I'm here alone, but I'm here with a match preview. Tomorrow we shall be playing against Southampton. It's at the Emirates Stadium. So no worries, we're not traveling because I know if we were traveling again to Southampton, probably it should have been a bad loss. But we are traveling to Southampton. No, we are hosting Southampton, right? We are hosting Southampton at the Emirates Stadium. Don't worry, we have not won so many games at the Emirates Stadium these days. I mean, the last four, we haven't won any. Smash a like on the video. Put in your subscriptions. What else? Donate if you love the content. How do you donate on the live streams? It's as simple as getting into the chat section and using that $sign, the super chat. I mean, it's as easy as that. But you can also use my numbers. They are in the description. So it's as easy as that. Let's get into Arsenal, Southampton. My thoughts on it before I go into the predicted lineup. Well, I think Arsenal is not in a good position to beat Southampton. Both clubs are far away apart when it comes to position on the table. Southampton are fourth. Are they? Arsenal are 15th. So there's a big difference. And when you look at the performance, last 5 games, Southampton have been doing so well. They had that disappointing loss against Manchester United. They should have won that game. I'm telling you, they should have won that game, but they were ridiculous. They were ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You don't lead 2-0 and then you lose that game 3-2. So that was really ridiculous. But Arsenal this season has been more ridiculous because even at the Emirates Stadium, in the last game, we lost against Burnley. 1-0. Granit Xhaka strangling a Burnley player. I mean, does it get any worse than that? I don't know. We still have the same manager after 12 games with 13 points and 15th on the table. Manager has not changed, and it has been confirmed today by Edu that he will stay at the club. Does it get any worse than that? I don't know. But anyway, I want us to just think about this game as a normal game. Forget about the Arsenal form. Forget about the Southampton form. Even when we have been up and Southampton has been lower, than us, it has been a big game. It has been a big clash. It hasn't always been easy for us. No, it hasn't been easy for Southampton, especially in the past 2 seasons. You think they have always put that fight against us, and at times I should say they have succeeded. At times I think we have been better, but this time clearly they are the better side. Southampton is the better side. Arsenal is the underdog. When we went in the last match, we were on the same level with Burnley because Burnley is 18th and we are 15th. So we are almost on the same level, though we are 3 points above Burnley. It's embarrassing to speak things like this, but I mean, it's the truth. So in this game, Southampton is the big lion and we are the underdogs because, truly speaking, if I look at the table right now, it's not impressing, but I have to say it. The Southampton are in position now 5. They have played 12 games and they have 23 points. We have 13 points. That means they have won more 10 points than us this season. They have collected 10 points out of their last 5 games. I've told you we have 1 point. 1 point like this out of our last 5. And probably if we lose this game, it will mean that we have not collected a point in our last 5 games. What is my prediction before I go into the predicted lineup? I think Southampton can win this game 2-1. I'm sorry, but I think Sutton can win it. Real talk. I mean, real talk. Let's get into the predicted lineup because we should be asking ourselves who needs to start, what needs to be corrected, since many Arsenal fans still believe that it is not the manager. So let us go down to the players because surely there is something wrong. At least all of us do agree. The Mikel Arteta out, the Mikel Arteta in team, we agree on one thing, that there is something that needs to be done. It's either the lineup, the players, the January transfer window, the manager, or something has to be done. So where do we go from here? 1, Leno will stay in goal. I've told you this season, I'll give him an average 5. his performances have not been so dreadful. I'm telling you, it's a fact. He has not been so dreadful, and you think he is a player that is trying to improve day in, day out. Well, he started his this season on a very bad note, making a lot of mistakes, and all of us were like, I think we saw the bad, the wrong goalkeeper, because that game against Liverpool, the way he was punching those balls in front of Mane and Robertson, you're like, no, Leno shouldn't be Arsenal's goalkeeper. But I think he has really improved a lot. The games we have lost this season, I do not blame him for that goal we conceded against Burnley. Aubameyang shouldn't be blamed either. So goalkeeper had no chance. Against Aston Villa, maybe you can think about it and you're like, okay. Against Wolves, it's one goal I would blame him. So really, I think there are no debates about that anyway. Even if he wasn't the best goalkeeper, Brunasson cannot make it to the starting lineup. Then another default player, I'm calling them default players because I think they're untouchables. They are they are the Mikel Arteta non-negotiables. He calls them non-negotiables. So they're the Mikel Arteta non-negotiables. So I think also Gabriel has been in very, very good form. He has to start. I mean, there is no way you're going to say he's not going to start. But the question is, who partners Gabriel in that centre-back line? Rob Holding is a little bit, calamity. It's against a side that like Southampton that is playing so well. They're in form. They are doing almost everything right in their past 5 games, apart from that stupid Manchester United game they lost. I think they've been so brilliant. So Rob Holding, is he the right player? I don't know. But there are also news coming in that David Louis actually could be fit to play, but he does not have a good relationship with the manager right now. Now the question is, who comes in to partner Gabriel Magalhaes? This is kind of ridiculous, but I would say Pablo Mari. Look, Mari is a good player. We have seen him in the Europa League. He has just come back. You're gonna tell me that, and he's left-footed. So 2 left-footed defenders, actually 3 plus Kian Tierney. That would be a little bit calamity because it's easy to beat them on their right feet. So I suggest, and I think Mikel Arteta will stick with Rob Holding. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't say I like him. I said I think Mikel Arteta is going to stick with him. In the right back position, there is a lot of questions there. Who do you play in the right back? So many questions in there. Who do you play in the right back? Is it Ainsley Maitland-Niles or is it Cedric? Because luckily enough, Bellerin, who has been a regular starter, has accumulated 5 yellow cards, and he will be out at least for another game, for 1 game. This is it. So there's a big debate. Cedric has been performing so well in the Europa League games in the right back, bringing in some crosses and acting somehow, solid defensively. Ainsley, the reason as to I know Ainsley could be the easy pick, but for me the reason as to why I don't want to choose Ainsley Maitland-Niles is I want to use him in the midfield. I want to use him as part of the midfield with Mohamed Elneny. So in this case, I'm going with Cedric. Right there. Cedric. I think he can make it. I hope he doesn't disappoint. There is another non-negotiable. There's another non-negotiable there. And it is Kian Tierney. So I think the defense will look like that. Not much of changes are going to be done, especially at a time when Mikel Arteta is trying to look for a win that is not going to come so easily. So we expect him to crumble a little bit. You get me? He's going to crumble a little bit, but he's going to use the same lineup. I know he has been criticized. Actually, he said, my chest is open. Hit me. Because the critics like me feel like he's not doing enough. So the good thing, he has been defended by Edu, and we shall get to that. So look, Kian Tierney makes it in the left back. The midfield, I'm going with 3 players in the midfield. One is definitely Mohamed El Neni. Definitely Mohamed El Neni. Now look, El Neni is a very good player when he's playing with Partey, when he's playing with other good players. But he is ridiculous when he is the main man in the midfield. Now, this is to announce sad news, bad news, negative on a negative note. The main man in our midfield this Wednesday is going to be that smiling face. I don't know why he's smiling, but Mohamed El Neni is going to be the main man in the midfield. Does it make any sense, Kosi? Yeah, I think it makes any sense because he's one of, he's what we have. So Partey is out, and you expect Partey to be sitting in here. Granit Xhaka, on as a blessing in disguise, he has 3 red cards. He will be missing Southampton, the game against Everton, and Chelsea. So bravo Arsenal, we did it. I mean, Xhaka is out. So we did it. So Granit, Mohamed El Neni is gonna be in that midfield. Now, I don't expect a midfield battle between us and Southampton. I think Southampton will have the goal. They'll have the ball more times. Even against United, I thought in the first half they were so good. They had that ball. They drove it forward. They were a little bit more, fluid going forward. So I don't think our role is going to be passing the ball, have it, and creating chances. It looks like our role is going to be basically defending against Southampton in the midfield, who I think will outcompete us midfield-wise. Who joins him in the midfield? That is where the problems are. Now, I don't believe Bukayo Saka should be playing as, I'm telling you, facts. He shouldn't be playing as a midfielder. Instead of him, I want Ainsley. Why isn't it writing? Ainsley. There we go. I want Ainsley to join Mohamed El Neni in that midfield. Look, you're going to tell me, Kosi, he's more as a right back. We have seen him play in that midfield role in the Europa League. The quality of Europa League teams does not guarantee that he's a good player, right? I understand. I do get your points. But Ainsley is one player I love these days. He has the courage to dribble that ball forward. And I think instead of playing him in the right back, where you think he's too far from action, you rather play him closer to action by starting his runs in the midfield. I don't know what you think. It's a Arsenal podcast. You guys can tell me what you think, and I'm going to be taking your comments. Please do tell me your predicted lineup as well. So I think it's better. It's better we use Ainsley. I don't know your thoughts on that, but I need to know. I need to know your thoughts on that. So we better use Ainsley there. And obviously, it's gonna be Ceballos who completes it. There are no questions. It's gonna be Ceballos. This midfield looks ugly. So ugly. Mohamed El Neni is not that kind of player that you think is going to bring a lot of action. It could be easily exploited defensive-wise, because although El Neni's name sounds like a good defensive midfielder, he is not one. So that means that if you have such a midfield, you do not have defensive backup in there. So your defense is going to be exploited 90 minutes. But who is the other defensive player we have in the midfield with Partey out and Granit Xhaka on suspension? Nobody. So do not blame me for bringing a midfield that looks so scared of the enemy, because there is no other option. Up front, I'll prefer Bukayo Saka to start in there. He's a non-negotiable to me. I think there are so many people who are going to speak a lot of things about Bukayo Saka, but for me, he's a non-negotiable. He's a non-negotiable. You don't tell me anything about Bukayo Saka. He's one of our best players this season. He's one of our best. Real talk, one of our best players, trying to create chances, trying to pass that ball forward, trying to make the runs. It's surprising when Arsenal players have the ball and they're taking it forward, they are walking. They're literally walking. So he's one of those players that you think are literally trying to run with the ball. Right wing, we're gonna go for Pepe. Don't ask me questions. Pepe is back. Willian is dreadful. I think Pepe should start being a non-negotiable. He should be starting, he should start becoming a non-negotiable. He's one player, you always think about and you're like, Pepe is doing it. Pepe is making the best out of himself. In the Europa League, that's on a sad note. In the Premier League, he's rubbish. I mean, he has been rubbish for the games we have seen him. The last time he was sent off, 3-game suspension. It was against Leeds, where he did a lot of nothing, and he almost cost a team 3 points. I mean, he cost us 2 points, if you want to believe it. But if you don't want to believe it, then you say, we managed to save a point. So Pepe starts with Bukayo Saka on the flanks. I think Pepe is not so good defensive-wise. There isn't anything he offers defensive-wise, but that can be covered up by Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who can drop off for Cedric, and then Saka can drop up for Kian Tierney to help on that to help out on that wing. So I want to see Pepe start. I want to see what he can offer. I don't know. I want to see what he can offer. And lastly, the striker. There's so many questions in this one, and there's so many things going on in my head. Should it be Balogun's first chance? What do you think, guys? The chats, people in the chat. What do you think? Should it be Balogun who starts in this lineup? Because you look, Balogun has not been so dreadful, but he hasn't had any chances. We have literally seen him 2 games. He has scored 2 goals. As long as I remember. Should he get the chance against Southampton? My answer is no, not yet, but he should be making it, on the bench. I love him as a player, but I think against Southampton, nah. It would be sacrificing a young player for nothing. So I'm not going in for him. Alexander Lacazette and Aubameyang and Eddie Nketiah, that seems to be the question. Where do we, or who do we go with? Aubameyang has been so dreadful to an extent that we are discussing him as a non-negotiable. Really? Actually, as a negotiable. I mean, last season, he was a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. You couldn't negotiate whether Aubameyang will start or not. These days, we do. I mean, it's surprising, isn't it? Really surprising. But I'm telling you this for a fact. I won't play Aubameyang. I'll play Alexander Lacazette. People are going to say, Kosi, you're mad. Kosi, you're mad. How can you do that? Kosi, you're mad. Kosi, you're mad. No Aubameyang. No Gabriel Martinelli. He's back from injury, but I ain't giving him a chance. No Gabriel Martinelli. No Aubameyang. No Willian. That is what I would start. Leno, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, Cedric, Niles, Elneny, Ceballos, Saka, Lacazette, and Pepe. Now, I know most of you are going to tell me something I want to hear. I know most of you are going to, complain about that lineup, and you're going to tell me, Kosi, that lineup doesn't have a creative player. I see. I made it intentionally. Now look, when you have Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Elneny, and Ceballos, those are 3 players very good at going forward. I mean, the defensive-wise, you're going to have issues. But again, they're going to add something to Saka, Pepe, and Aubameyang, and Lacazette, because Lacazette is more of a number 10 these days. I don't know why he has become like that. So that means anyone has the responsibility to score. The reason that's why I'm putting out Aubameyang looks like when he's on the pitch, everybody wants to look for Aubameyang. We can't get to him, so we can't score. We can't score. Why don't we, at some point, just forget about Aubameyang? Like we forget about Aubameyang and we're like, let's Aubameyang first stay out of action and see what we can do. Probably you would see some, people trying to take up responsibilities to score. The reason as to why Arsenal players don't want to take up, these responsibilities to score is easy. They think in their heads Aubameyang is going to do it. He is not doing it. You get me? He is not doing it. Kosi, you think Martinelli will play? No, he won't play. I don't think he will play. He will have rushed him. And of course, you don't want to rush a player back. You saw what happened with Partey. I think Balogun. Look, the debate was who starts up front. Balogun is a good player. He's a young, good talent and so on, like Edin Nketiah was, but you don't need to rush him again. You don't need to rush him. If it was Burnley, I'll bring Balogun now. It was Burnley because I believe Burnley is a weaker team. You can dominate, but in a game where you cannot dominate Southampton, don't bring a player like Balogun. If it was Martinelli and he was fit, I'll bring Martinelli because Martinelli is so good. Whether you have the ball or you don't have it, he's so good. He's just exceptional. He's like soccer. So no, I'm not playing. I'm not playing man like Balogun there. But now, apart from the starting lineup there, we need to go to the press conference of the manager. What did the manager say in his press conference? What is he planning? You get me? What is he planning in this game? What did he say, Mikel Arteta? He has been defended so well by Edu today, but that is not my interest. My point of interest is, what did he say in his press conference? So let us go. That is the next step. Arteta, Arsenal press conference live. Mikel Arteta on dressing room, pressure, injuries, and Southampton. Get me? This is football.london. It was live so many hours ago, so you don't expect me to bring it to you live, do you? First and foremost, he was asked about Lucas Torreira and on Lucas Torreira's situation and whether he will come back. This is what he said. We have been dealing with that situation, but again, when the market opens and we have the possibility to bring in players and get players out, whatever we have to do, we will discuss. I cannot comment on that. That is good PR. That's very good PR. But I told you he's a PR monster. I don't know where he went for PR classes or something, but he's a good PR monster. He speaks a lot of PR. Still, he was asked on the poor discipline. And this is what he said. Well, we've had 6 red cards since I joined, and only 2 have been disciplined. Have been disciplined. Pepe and Granit. The rest, they have been 2 late tackles. One with Eddie against Leicester City, and the other one against Palace, which was Aubameyang. So, I mean, this is not a comment. This is not a comment. The way I want him to comment about the discipline at the club is so different from what he's saying. So different. So different from what he's saying. You get me? But anyway, let's continue. Still, Mikel Arteta was asked whether Arsenal are in relegation form. Oh my God. If I was a manager and you ask me this question, what would I do? I don't know. But this is what he said. I would say that we are in a blip, and the way we are losing football matches makes me believe that. But we need to start to win, because if not, you start dropping in the table, and obviously that is not the situation that we want to be in. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. If we don't start winning, we are going to drop and drop and drop. That's what Mikel Arteta says. We have a manager, right? Arteta on Granit Xhaka, he said it's been resolved internally, and that's all I can say. He's not the only player who has had broken moments. I know the reason why he got sent off, and what I cannot do is throw everything away because he made a mistake. Okay. The Granit Xhaka situation, he has tried to protect a little bit of Granit Xhaka than the way he threw Pepe on under the bus. Pepe, boom, 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 and you're like, I think he was looking for a reason to get rid of Pepe in the Premier League, but the fact is, man is doing so well there, out there. But that was those were his comments on Granit Xhaka. Arteta on the pressure and criticism. This is what he said. When you're not getting the results at the end of the day, it's the manager who has the maximum responsibility to get them. This football club is too big to accept many losses in the past few weeks. My chest is here, so hit me, guys. Nobody is interested in your chest, Mikel Arteta. We want you out. Real talk. Nobody's interested in your chest because, you don't have a big chest anyway. And I know he's trying to tell the critics that, I'm here. He wants to play the good guy. I'm here. I've made the mistakes. Blah 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 blah. But for me, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. If you're shit, you've got to take the responsibility. At this time, he should be telling us how we are getting back. He never talks about that. He says we need to improve. We want to improve. We want to win. Oh, boo, 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 boo. But how do you get there? The strategy. He's like, the famous politicians. That's what they do. We want to do this. We want to change this. We want, you got. But the question is, how do you achieve that? That doesn't make any sense anyway, does it? On whether the players back him, okay. He says, my feeling is yes, but the question, this is a question for them, obviously. Again, when I see the reaction and the way they try, there is not one bit that worries me that they are not trying their best. That's for sure. This is, again, of course, yeah, I understand. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. He's trying to, you would say he's trying to protect his players. You don't want to go against your players as a manager. Brilliant. I give him a tick there. Because if you go against your players as a manager in a press conference, you know what you expect on the pitch. So I think this was a brilliant answer. But the fact is, as we Arsenal fans, and we understand now the situation at the club, the players are not behind Mikel Arteta, are they? They are not. So we understand that nobody can fool us. No one, absolutely no one can fool us. Not everyone is against him, but you look at players like David Louis. These players are not playing for the manager. It's easy to see. Players to back you doesn't mean that they are going to give you money, because they're not going to give you money to sign more players. They can't. They are. Are they playing for you? Is there some passion? Are they happy? Are they comfortable with you being around? That's the question we can answer in the next 2 or 3 games against Arsenal. For Arsenal. Arteta on unhappy players in the camp. I want to listen to this. So everybody listen to it. I also want to listen to it. What did he say on the unhappy players in the camp? He said, well, I said it many times, when you have the squad that we have at the moment, for different circumstances, it's impossible to have 31 happy players in the camp. It's absolutely impossible. I don't know any club in the world that has that. But obviously, when you lose again, these things are going to come out again to put more pressure or to be disruptive. I'm not interested in any of that. Yeah, I know. I understand. Back the boss, technical director Edu has said, say on the reports that Mikel Arteta is under pressure at the Emirates. I don't want to listen to that. So those were the manager's comments. They were the manager's comments, and I'm happy that I really went through them slowly by slowly. What do you think about that press conference? Does it make any sense? Is it any better? I'm telling you, in my opinion, this press conference is not any different. Not anywhere close to being any different from those we have had in the past. Right from the transfer summer, he's been saying the same things. We think we are going to bring in players. I cannot talk about the players that are not ours, but the board is backing me, and we are looking at something big. Those are his words. He's a PR, he's a PR monster, and I love him for that. For that. I mean, he does some PR. At least he's good. He's good at PR. Imagine having a manager who cannot win 5 games in the opening, in the opening few 12 games. And he's even bad at PR. So the good thing is good at PR. I think it makes sense. Let's go now to the real game, the match, the opponents. Get me? Smash a like on the video if you love it. Donate through the super chat button. It's as easy as that. You can also check my numbers in the description. Join my WhatsApp group. And let's talk. But let's get now to the real game, because now it is action. We've been talking about the what? Chelsea is still 0-0, by the way. They're playing. Who are they playing? I've already forgotten. They're playing Wolves. Still 0-0. Now this is what the table looks like. We are playing 5th Southampton. They have collected 23 points. I told you that. And they have scored 17 goals. They have scored 24 goals and they have conceded 17. So one of the things you can take up, you can take away from that, they concede. They concede because out of 12 games, if they have conceded 17, that means they have conceded a goal every game and 5 more. Actually, Southampton have conceded more than Arsenal have conceded, because for us, we have conceded 15 goals this season, although we have scored very less. They have scored 14 more goals than Arsenal this season. So it's not by surprise. It's not by surprise that they are there. They are playing good football. All right? They are in 5th. They are playing good football. This season, they have 12 games, 7 wins. 7 wins. We have 4. 2 losses. Are those losses? 2 draws, not losses. 2 draws and 3 losses. It will depend whether we want to make it 4 losses for them. Meanwhile, the big giants, Arsenal, someone should highlight Arsenal's position in red. We're a big club, for Christ's sake. We can't be 15th, and then it's hard to find. We are hard to find on the table. So someone should highlight like blue or green or something like that, so that you can find my team so easily. We have played 12 this season, won 4, drawn 1, lost 7. Actually, the number of games Southampton have won is the number of games we have lost. Now, that's not embarrassing, but it is not fair. We have scored 10 goals this season and conceded 15. We have a negative 5 goal difference. There. Brighton are below us by 3 points. So that means if they dare win and we do not win, we are 16th. Real thing. But that is it. I mean, that's the way. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? Just before that, let's look at the key main points of this game. The lineups are not out yet, so you don't expect me to be giving you the lineups, maybe the predicted lineups, but I've done that. We've gone through that. The timeline now. What are the statistics we are looking at in this game? What are we looking at in this game? What are the statistics? What are we looking at? Because I remember, let me tell you, we had last lost to Burnley at the Emirates Stadium in 1959. 1959, and we lost in 2020. So, do statistics matter? I think Mikel Arteta's last press conference, he said, right now, statistics do not matter. You need to win. And he was right, because they were real records. Real records. But it didn't matter. Burnley knew how to beat us. And I'm telling you, the form of Southampton, they know exactly how to beat us. They are going to come prepared. But what are the 5 insights in this game? 1, Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 25 home league games against Southampton. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 25 home league games against Southampton, winning 18, drawing 7, since a 1-0 loss in 1987. Another record is going down. Is another record going down? 1997, those 23 years. So we have not lost to Southampton at the Emirates Stadium in 33 years. Are you getting me? 33 years we have not lost to Southampton. Still, we're going through the preview. You can, smash a like on the video. Get your subscriptions coming in. The super chats are very very much appreciated. The likes, the subscriptions, the comments, the engagement, everything is much appreciated, and the love. 2, Southampton drew this exact fixture with Arsenal 2-2 last season, conceding a 90th minute equalizer courtesy of Alexander Lacazette. They have not avoided defeat in consecutive away league games against Arsenal since 1988. You get me? So we have not failed to beat Southampton at the Emirates in a span of 2 games. So it's either we draw against them, then we beat them, or we beat them and we draw against them. We have never gone 2 games without a win at home against Southampton since 1988. 88, those 32 years ago. Okay. 3, Arsenal are unbeaten in all 21 of their Premier League home games against Southampton. We are unbeaten in all 21 of the Premier League home games against Southampton. We have won 15. We have drawn 6. The most home games a team has played against another in the competition without ever losing. 21 games, no loss. No loss, absolutely, in the Premier League. I still remember last season it was Gabriel Martinelli crossing that ball beautifully, falling on the feet of Alexander Lacazette, who executed the job well done. This time, I don't know who's going to do it, because Martinelli could be back, but I don't think he's going to play. I don't think. Maybe, since Mikel is under pressure, he wants a change. He might bring him on, but I'm not sure. Arsenal have lost just 1 of their 21 Wednesday Premier League games at the Emirates Stadium. Winning 14, drawing 6, going down 1-2 against Swansea in 2006. 16, not 6. I don't want to remember. I don't want to remember Swansea. They almost killed us. They played ridiculously good football. Ridiculously good football. So on Wednesday, I mean, this is being so superstitious, but I think as Arsenal fans, the only thing we can cling on to right now is the superstition. It's the superstition. It is the what? It's the okay. Let's go on. Southampton are winless in their last 21 Premier League away games played on a Wednesday. So, I mean, we should beat Southampton. We should beat Southampton, but on paper, it's so hard. But listen to this. Southampton are winless in their last 21 Premier League away games played on a Wednesday, since winning 2-0 at Chelsea in 1995, 2 years before I was born. That is 21 years ago. So Southampton last won a Premier League away game on Wednesday 21 years ago. No, 2021 actually. 25. 25 years ago. Now, you could say this is ridiculous, but it's the truth. It's the real truth. So that is it. I mean, the stats are over. I've talked to myself and to you guys for damn 40 minutes. I can't believe I did that preview all that long. And I want to get in some of your comments. Oh, the link is here. It's okay. I want you guys to give me your opinions about this game, and I want you to predict. Oh, I have forgotten the prediction section, because the match preview has to have the prediction section, right? So my prediction in this game is a 2-1 win for Southampton. I don't care about the records. I think we're just not good enough to beat Southampton. Southampton could win it 2-1. I'm going for James Ward-Prowse and Danny Ings, and we shall score 1 goal from Alexander Lacazette. I mean, he's my striker, so I have to back him with the goal, right? So get me your comments in the comment box. Who do you think is going to win this game, or where does it end? HJ90. Hello. Are you there? I can't seem to hear anything. I can't. HJ, are you there? Your mic is mute. HJ, are you there? His mic is still mute. Alex says it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. Yeah, I think a draw is not bad. Kevin Kamal also says it's gonna be a draw. I think it's a draw from Alex. Augustine, they were just unlucky on Sunday. I don't want to say Arsenal were unlucky on Sunday. I mean, I'm putting on an Arsenal jersey, so we were not so unlucky on Sunday. We were not clinical, and that is the way we have been whole season, right? The whole season we have been quite, the whole season we have been quite non-clinical. So I don't want to say Arsenal were unlucky, because if you say Arsenal were unlucky, you're putting some, morale in these people. Fake morale. We were not good enough. For me, the boys played much better than they were not sluggish out all in that Sunday match. Wow. Maybe you don't watch other games. Let me see. Is Chelsea playing? Is Chelsea playing? Let me just check on my Showmax if Chelsea is playing. Because if you have seen clubs like Chelsea play, that's when you know that Arsenal is playing slow football. I think it's half time. I mean, try to watch other teams play. Try to watch Tottenham. Try to watch other teams. Augustine. You'll see the difference. You will see the difference. I'm telling you. Arsenal is a good club, but now it's not like that. Martinelli will play tomorrow. I mean, it's not yet confirmed. It's not. Hello? Yes, please, AJ.
Hello.
Yes, please.
How are you doing?
I'm so fine. I'm very fine, bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Exactly. You come in at the right time. I'm finished with all the statistics and everything. Now the predictions and the game thoughts. What do you think about this game generally? Your general overview. Southampton Arsenal. Is it scary?
I'm a bit worried for this game because they look like a really good side under a manager who knows what he's doing. He knows his style of play. He knows how he's going to approach this game against Arsenal, but it's going to be very difficult for us to try and break them down. What's Arteta going to do differently that's going to make us win this game? It'll be very interesting to see. Hello? 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 Hello?
Yeah, I'm there. I don't know why my PC went into sleep.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm quite worried for this game because, Southampton, under a manager who has a style of play, he knows what they're doing and what's
Mm,
Arteta do differently. What's he
mm.
going to do differently? That's going to make us win this game. That's going to, give us a bit of boost going into Everton, Chelsea, Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this game. It's a game. It looks like a must-win for us, no? Because every game this season has been a must-win because we're
Yeah,
a big club. So every game is a must-win. But I don't see us going down there at the Emirates Stadium and hosting them, and then we get a win. I just don't see it happen.
yeah, I didn't see it happen either. And it's very difficult because what's Arteta going to do differently? Obviously, Hector Bellerin is not going to play. That's going to be a boost for us. I'll put Cedric in there against his former club. He would know how they play, their style of play. He would know more than Arteta probably. Xhaka's not going to be playing, so hopefully that's a good boost for us. I want to see Smith Rowe play. I want to see Balogun play because it's not working for Arteta at the moment. So you may as well go with the younger players, give them an opportunity.
Yeah, but I don't see him go for the young players. I mean, I just don't see him go for the young players. It's quite,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, you would say you want the young players, but I don't see him go for them.
Yeah, no, I want to see the young players. That's just my opinion, but I know he's not going to go with the young players. We all know Willian's going to probably start ahead of Pepe, even though he is back for this game. I'd love to see
Mm.
Pepe back in the side, but we all know he's going to go Willian. Um, Along with he's obviously he would have gone with Bellerin and Xhaka. They're not in this game, so I think he'd probably go with Cedric, possibly. I'm not sure. Maybe Ainsley in the midfield. I think he probably would go with Sabas in the midfield, because the thing is, you can't really work out formation because it's like we play 12 different formations in a game anyway, so you can't really
Mm.
work that out. So it will be interesting to see what he goes with, but I don't see him changing that much.
Yeah, I also don't see him changing, yeah, changing there. Ed, of course, it's already confirmed that, Edward said it. He's not going to be sacked. He's not going to. He's going to stay around, whether we want it or not. So there's no pressure on him. But he
Yeah,
says, yeah, I mean, he says his chest is there to hit. What is about those comments? He just says, my chest is there. If you want to hit me, hit me.
he's trying to be, again, it's arrogance. He's trying to say, people, we're gonna get criticism along the way. It's basically the same thing as saying there's a process, there's gonna be a bumps along the way. It's essentially the same thing, but he's trying to indirectly say it in a different way. And
Mm.
I said this at lunchtime on your show. It's gonna be it's gonna be very difficult now for Edu if Arteta keeps losing games. Negative records keep getting broken and broken under a lot of pressure. Then do you allow this is the point now I had to cut off on at lunchtime. Do you allow Mikel Arteta to go into the January window, spend 50, 60 million, and then if you then have to sack Arteta, the 50, 60 million worth of players and the players you signed in the summer, will the new manager like those players? Or will you
Yeah.
try to get rid of them? That's a big question, and that needs to be considered going into the January window, which is why it's quite important to sack him and bring in a new man now.
And actually, what I've seen, I noticed this sometime. I think we have built our team around Mikel Arteta. We have made it so clear that Arteta is our next big thing. If you look at, because the players that came in are all Mikel Arteta men, and they came in courtesy of Mikel Arteta. They believe in Mikel Arteta. The Willian, the Gabriel. I think, and that's the reason that's why he's making them, the undroppables, because he brought them in as as Mikel Arteta players. So do you see that do you think we are going to start reach a point where we cannot go get our hands off Mikel Arteta?
I don't know. I think if results keep going sour, then the board will have to make a decision. Hopefully, they make the right decision. Because the thing is, if the board stay by the fact, oh look, there's a 3-4 year process, and after 3-4 years, we're in a position where you haven't gone anywhere, and then you're 3-4 years behind getting to the top. So along with the 3-4 years, Wenger set us back. Along with the 2 years Emery set us back, which is already 5-6 years. And then if you're trusting Arteta for another 3-4 years, now that puts you nearly 10 years behind the top clubs, and that's where we want to be. So I think now is the right time to let him go and find a new direction, because the quicker you realize he's not the right man for the job, it'll be, easier for us to build back up.
Yeah, mostly true. Much, Southampton.
This is what we've
I'm
come
really
to.
scared, but I'm scared of Sutton. I think they are on a big run. It's not going to be us to stop them, is it?
Pardon? Say that again.
Do you think it's gonna be? I don't think it's gonna be us to stop that Southampton run.
Yeah, we'll have to see. How the match unfolds tomorrow, because obviously, I think if Xhaka probably didn't get sent off, I think we could have won that game. But again, who picks Xhaka? It's Arteta. It's all down to the manager as a responsibility of picking these players continuously. But because I think before Xhaka got sent off, we had a 10-15 minute spell where we played really good football. We were creating chances. We were doing good things. And then Xhaka gets sent off. Game flips and we lose it.
So my prediction was 2-1. Ings will score, Lacazette will score, and James Ward-Prowse. What's your prediction?
I'm not a big fan of doing for Arsenal, I never know predictions. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, a draw. 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I need to jump off now. But
Okay. No,
I'll be back tomorrow.
All right.
After the Southampton game.
All right.
See if we get a win, lose. We'll have to see.
All right. See you then. See you then. So that is SJ90 thoughts. I mean, no Arsenal fan is going to give me different thoughts. They're going to all say the same thing. But Arsenal might get a lucky win this time round. I don't expect that. Guys, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Have a blessed evening.